Welcome back to Perkins Pipes. Got the little Savinelli King's Cross Featherweight going on here. Beautiful little black pipe, and as appropriate for that, perhaps some Back in Black blend from my friend David Meese. You can check him out on an episode of Briarside Chat. Felt like an elegant little pipe would be appropriate for what we're going to talk about today. So let's get this guy lit. Let's get to talking. There we go. Wanted to talk about journaling a little bit. And I'd be very interested to know who among you are journalers. And, kind of why you do it and all that sort of stuff. I want to share with you a little bit about some of my journaling habits. Now, first of all, I don't keep a diary, at least not in terms of the way we use the word diary today. Dear diary, today this happened, and so forth, kind of a day-by-day chronicle of your life. I don't do that. I did that once. Literally one time, 1 year in my life I did that many, many, many years ago. I don't do that. I journal. And I want to talk to you a little bit about what I do with a journal and a little bit about some of the tools of the trade, as it were. The tools of the trade of journaling. So for me, I journal thoughts. Very often prayers. Now, this is not a creative notebook. Very rarely have I composed anything, poetry, prose, anything like that in a journal. I tend to do that elsewhere, either directly on the keyboard or on another pad of paper or another notebook or something like that. A journal for me is a place to keep track of thoughts, jot down feelings. Sometimes I do record special events in the journal. Very, very often, I am quoting scripture. Something in the Bible has particularly moved me. Being a Latin and Greek nut, very often I'll get the Latin and Greek text in there as well. Sometimes I'm making notes specifically about that, maybe something particular in the wording or the grammar of the Latin and the Greek and so forth. Sometimes it can be negative. My thoughts, my feelings. Guess what? I'm a human being, right? We all have negative thoughts sometimes. So sometimes it's that. Sometimes it's very, very positive. Even if something is really strikingly negative to me, I put a little minus sign at the top of the page. And if it's something absolutely fabulous, just amazingly wonderful, and very often that is an event that has happened in our family, I put a plus sign at the top of the page. And if it's just super duper, right, truly a red letter day, I'll actually write that journal entry in red ink. And one of the things I like to do when our family goes to Turkey Run State Park at the end of the year, Clifty Falls State Park, southern Indiana, southeastern Indiana, right after Christmas, a few days between Christmas and New Year's, I take my journal with me and I like to read back through all of that year's entries and then kind of do a summary. What are the big themes? What are the big ideas, questions, or answers that have come up across the course of the year? I'm a verbal guy. That's how I engage with, that's how I process the world, is through words. So for me, it's just a way of, it's not about, oh, I want to remember that we ate at this restaurant on this particular day. It's not about keeping a track or a chronicle like that. But it's about reflecting on, again, like I say, the big themes, big issues. Very often seeing what God is doing. Is God showing me something in particular? And that's certainly been the case where there's maybe been a particular word or an idea or a verse of the Bible or something like that that God has revealed. That's just a really helpful way for me to do that. So, what does that look like? What are the tools of the trade? Well, I'm going to show you here. I love this little journal. It says journal. It's got lined pages. Okay, so I do like the lined pages for journal writing. Not always for composition for poetry and fiction. I usually, sometimes I prefer lined pages, sometimes prefer blank paper for that. Again, I like the size. It's a nice little size. I've had many of these. You can get them. I don't know. It's called Christian Art Gifts. Christian Art Gifts. I think I've gotten them on Amazon, and it seems like they come in brown and black. The brown has gilt edge pages. The black has silver, and I've had both. I've had the brown and the black. So I like this size very much. Now, what do I write with? It depends, although in recent years, I'm kind of settled on a few basic writing instruments. One is the Fisher Space Pen, and you've probably seen this, even in Walmart. They carry a Fisher Space Pen. This is the pen that had the specialized ink, right? So astronauts could write upside down and in a vacuum and all this kind of stuff. My daughter, who is the chemistry major at Purdue University and wants to go into the aerospace field, she's got a couple of these things. Several years ago, I changed schools, and I'm at a school now whose colors are gold and purple. So I really wanted a purple pen. So I got a little Fisher Space Pen. Hopefully we can see that there. It's got a purple cap and barrel and a gold clip. Now, I did not want the Fisher Space Pen ink in this. So I did some research online and found that, let me just take this out here. You can get an alternate refill for this. You can get a little gel refill. Well, it doesn't have the markings on it. But this is the Zebra JK gel refill. And I'm going to show you a picture here of what that looks like in the packaging. I really wanted a gel pen. I didn't want that kind of ballpoint feel for that. Had to make a slight modification to the cartridge, just literally clip the end off with a pocket knife, fits in fine, and works like a charm. So sometimes I want that, okay? Now another one that also required a change of cartridge comes with a ballpoint. This one does, and the gel that fits it, again, I'm going to show you a picture here, is a Parker Quink gel. Doesn't require any modifications at all. This fits right in. And this one only goes back about, I don't know, 3-4 years for me, while my son was still at college. My wife and I gone up to visit one day, and we're in his apartment. And I saw on his desk this ballpoint pen, and I immediately exclaimed. I said, "Oh my goodness, where did you get a Caran d'Ache?" He's like, I don't even know what that means. I said, well, that's the brand of the pen you've got sitting on your desk. I said, where'd you get that? He says, well, somebody left it. He found it somewhere on campus. I said, you got to be kidding me. I said, those things aren't cheap. And I'd always wanted a Caran d'Ache fountain pen. So they have the Caran d'Aches usually or almost always have a hexagonal barrel. I've seen some that were in silver, chased silver, that were just absolutely gorgeous. A little out of my price range. And when I saw my son have this one, I thought, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and get a Caran d'Ache ballpoint and then replace it with a gel. So this is my Caran d'Ache 849. And we'll kind of show it to you a couple ways here. So there it is. Kind of has a clip and a look like a Pentel mechanical pencil. Very, very similar. And I don't know if we can see it here in the, yeah, you can kind of see it there under the clip, very unobtrusive. It says Caran d'Ache 849. And there's a little part over here that started to wear off that says Swiss made. So it's a Swiss made pen. Love, love, love this guy. Especially with that Parker Quink gel refill. Now, I do use fountain pens in my journal. And the one that I've got right now is the one I'm going to show you. Certainly I've used several. I really, though, like a fine or extra fine nib when I'm doing that kind of writing. I don't want anything medium or beyond. I don't want that. So it's the tried and true. I think we've had this guy out before. The Waterman, let's get the right thing here. The Waterman Hemisphere. I had this guy for, golly, let's see here, over 25 years. I actually bought this guy. We were going to Italy, and I wanted to take a fountain pen on the plane, and I wanted to get one that I thought, well, I don't care if I lose it. I don't know why I ended up getting this one, because I would care very much if I lost this one. I love this. Love this pen. So that's what I use in my journal. So talk to us a little bit. Do you journal? If so, how long have you journaled? Why do you journal? What do you get out of journaling? And if it's something that you've never considered, would you, as a way of kind of processing the important things of your life? As Malcolm Guite likes to say, I do these little things in order at last to do nothing. Or as I like to say in Latin, Parva ago ut tandem, nihil agam. Have a wonderful day.
There was a man who walked the earth.